Hi everybody and welcome back to Lockdown Kitchen. Today I thought I'd do an extra class because there's some people in Australia, of course they're 9 hours ahead of us, so they can never watch me live. So I thought I'd do a special class today. I was feeling like cooking and I've really got nothing else to do anyway. Hi Bev, thanks for joining. So I'm making a tart tatin. I'm just going to make an individual one. Normally I would make a big one, but I can't eat a big one and I haven't really got anyone else to feed. Hi Bev. Just waiting for a few Australians. Whoops, I've shaken the camera. A few Australians to join. That's why I'm doing the class early so the Aussies can watch live, because normally they're in bed. It's normally 2 a.m. their time. So anyway, I'm just making an individual tart tatin. I've made one already so I can show you the finished product, and I'm going to make one for all of you. So I've put my pan on to the highest temperature possible. You're getting a private cooking class, Bev. In the hot pan I'm putting about 1/4 cup of sugar, just ordinary sugar or extra fine, whatever you've got. And I'm just letting that heat up. It's going to start turning into toffee. You have to keep your eye on it because it will go brown and start burning around the edges, so you do have to be a bit careful. So I'm wearing a matching apron, as you can see. It's got apples on it to match the food. So I hope you like it. It's my favourite apron. I've had it for quite a few years, and unfortunately I got a hole in it. Hi Anne and Ken, thanks for joining. I pulled it on a knife, I think, on the way home, and so I've put a heart over the hole, which is good. And this is one of my sister's designs, lilypillydesigns.com.au from Australia. She makes wonderful aprons. This is my all-time favourite one, so I'm keeping it. Yes, I love it. It's just perfect for a tart tatin. Hi Ken. As you can see, camera much better angle thanks to you. I've now got my phone with a rubber band around it hanging off a hook. I used to have it in this is what it's been hanging in for the last week, just so you know. This is my noodle basket. They always hang on a hook near me, which is a perfect strainer when you live on your own. So that's what I used to have it in. Hello from Sydney, thanks for joining. So I'm making a tart tatin. As you can see, the sugar's in the pan. It's starting to smoke and heat up. So I'm just going to let that brown slightly before adding the butter. I've peeled an apple, cutting that into quarters, taking the pips and that little bit of skin off. So I've got 4 nice quarters. I've already made one. I used 1.5 apples in that as a test, but it was too much. So this one I'll just do with 4. So Leslie next door has donated some apples from her apple tree that she brought down with her from England, and she will get a tart tatin shortly in exchange. So you see that is starting to burn brown colour. You don't really want to stir it yet, because if you stir sugar when it's melting, sometimes it can crystallise and then that's no good. Then I'm adding just like 20 grams of butter. Putting that in, turning the heat down to 6, giving it its first stir now, just to combine the sugar and butter together. You see that starts to bubble and it's turning to toffee. Okay, so then I'm putting in the apples, and I'm just going to cook them for a couple of minutes, just to soften them slightly, because the cooking time is quite short in the oven. Clean your bench, be good. Your favourite, yes, one of my favourites too, tart tatin. Cooking time is quite short. Once you put the pastry on, it can cook in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So if your fruit is a hard fruit, you need to cook it like this. If you're making like an apricot one or a plum one, you don't really need to do this cooking. You just put it straight in your tin with the pastry on top, and you make the sauce separately. So you see that's cooking nicely. Going to flip the apples over. Now I'm going to turn it down a bit more because it's still cooking a little bit too much for the toffee. Turn that over, give that another couple of minutes. Now the pastry just using puff pastry. Lily Pilly cushions. Yes, that's my sister's company. You can buy them online directly from Lily Pilly. She's on Facebook, Instagram, or she sells everything on Etsy store. It's an Australian store. So she makes cushions for people all over the world now. She's doing quite well with her business. She also makes aprons, cushions, travelling lingerie bags, bags to wear and shoulder, door stops, all sorts of things. So with this, I'm just putting this down on the pastry and I'm just cutting a slightly larger circle than the tin. Okay? So it's a piece like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because what we're going to be doing, I'll just put that away because I'll save that for a meat pie or something else. Just give that a shake. It's cooking a bit much. Take it off the heat. That's probably enough now. This pastry, we tuck it in around the edges, so it never needs to be a perfect round circle. That's fine. So always cook your apple tartan on a tray underneath because it will boil over and leak, most probably. So that saves you cleaning the oven later. That's a top tip for today. And then with the apples, you can see they're nicely browned, slightly cooked. I just put them in skin side down, where the skin used to be, of course. And you want to lay them around. I mean, if you want to, you can cut them into smaller slices. You could cut them into 8. As I said, normally I make a big one with six apples to serve 6 or 8 people. So I have left it in big slices. So I'm placing those apples in the tin. We'll leave that there because it's boiling hot. Like that. I've poured the sauce over the top. And then all you do is put the pastry over the top. Keep your pastry in the fridge until the last minute, by the way. Hi, Sarah. It's always better to work with cold pastry. It cooks better in the oven as well. So all I'm doing is turning that around and tucking that in. I make this tart tatin for Sarah quite often. She's a friend from Gassan down here that I cook for. So I've just tucked it in around the edges. It's all lumpy and abstract, that's fine. And then I'm just putting it in a hot oven, 200 degrees, probably for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll check it after 10 minutes. Okay, now I've already made one, so I'll just show you what you do. I'm just going to get it off the tray. There we go. So that first one boiled over a bit. I put too much sauce in it, so it was sort of stuck to the tray. Sorry, I'm going to open the door. So then all you do is I put it on a plate. That could still be on the tray. You put a plate on top like this, pray hard to the kitchen fairy and go boom. Okay, that quick. All right? So that's now upside down. And Sarah's just made a tart tatin earlier. That's upside down. Of course, tart tatin means upside down tart in English. And then you just take the tin off. And hey ho, that's all done. Now, if you've got some spare sauce, which I have here, you can always drizzle that over the top. I'm just going to melt the sauce down that was in the tray that boiled over. So I'll melt that down a bit and I'm just going to drizzle a bit over the top. And then all you do is you put a nice scoop of vanilla bean ice cream on top and it's finished and then you can eat it. Okay? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my brief tart tatin class. Just thought I'd do this for the Aussies. But unfortunately, I don't know if she's on. I hope she is. Watsy, are you on? Talk to me. Anyway, I'll see you at 5 o'clock. I'm making a delicious Persian soup. Can't wait to do that. So I'll see you later today. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Okay, thanks. Bye.